back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the House Open Cup number 3. Oh my god, here we go. It's been a long night. We've been having a lot of PVZs already, and they will continue in the finals of this tournament. And in said finals, we have a new contender, a new player. Not his first time in this weekly, but he has gone far and wide, and he has never made it to the finals before. It's his first time, and here we go. In the top right hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the best Zerg player in all of Poland representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. And I just realized we're loading into Radisson Station. Crazy. Elazer is going for a 15-15, which makes plenty of sense. We want to be as greedy as possible. We want to cut as many corners as possible on Radisson Station. This is the first time we're casting on this map since WTL over the weekend. It's been a while. Been a hot minute since we've cast on Radisson Station. So for those wondering, it is a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. The reason why you go for this is, one, you aren't going to be taking an unnatural natural, you get it on location, but this also leads into a very delayed gas, which makes sense because we want to be droning, we want to be taking this third base as quickly as possible, and there is no need to rush into link speed. There's no need to prioritize gas mining, not on a map like Radisson Station, because what are your speedlings really going to do? Because back across the map, PAPI, he's fortifying himself, going for a gate expand into a cyber core, going for a third base soon behind this. The reason why I say you want to be greedy, and you can see here Elazer mining through these middle patches already, is because this is a free base, it is a pocket base. So Elazer, he should be looking to expand before gas. There's no reason to rush into gases this early on this map. So you can get a secure three bases quite easily. You can also get this fourth base very easily as well. There's only one attack path, one direction is where the army can come from. There are two attack paths technically, but I mean, it's all on the same side. You can set up your sim city, you can wall off cannons, gateways. Again, you can fortify yourself quite heavily here on 4 bases. The fifth is more open. The fifth is a different story, whether it's you try and take the goal base or you try to expand towards the right hand side. It is a lot more exposed, but we'll get there when we get there. As PAPI is going for a Stargate opener. Now, fast sky toss and fleet beacons are very common and very popular on this map. I'm curious if PAPI is going to do that as well. Rushing into Tempest or rushing into Void Rays has been seen many times here on Radisson Station. But again, we'll see if that's the direction we want to go in, as PAPI hasn't started mining through these minerals. Not yet. He totally could, but he's being a little bit more reserved, as it is a Void Ray first. Stargate not into Oracle, but into Void Ray. Meanwhile, back at home, still no gases. Why? Well, we don't need gases. We're just droning and making queens. Again, on this map, you want to cut as many corners as you can, so you drone hard, you queen hard, you play hard. And PAPI is gonna, he's not even gonna be trying to punish him. Gonna be turning back around with his reps. First Void Ray is coming out, and I'm very curious what we see after the first Void Ray. Okay, it's gonna be an Oracle. I still feel like PAPI, he can be expanding a lot faster. We should be taking this third base soon. No reason not to. Especially considering that it can't be punished. Like, Lings aren't going to be able to harass it. There's no link speed, obviously, so like there's nothing that can slow PAPI down, as gases are now being taken. Now, because the gases are so late, this typically leads into, like, you just skip link speed and you go into roaches, or you can go into a fast spire, a fast lair. Tech-wise, we have some options, but typically we should be seeing a roach warren just for safety. Meanwhile, there's a fleet beacon. I think it makes sense. We have seen a lot of carrier rushes on this map, or a lot of Tempest rushes as well, but this isn't quite that. Interesting. Void Ray reveals itself. I mean, we saw it earlier. There's an Oracle coming in to harass. We still haven't expanded, by the way. Again, this third base from PAPI is very late. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm concerned that he's going to be left in the dust. Economically, I mean. But we have a fleet beacon, only one Stargate, so we can make like one Tempest or one carrier, but we're actually going for a ground switch, 4 more gateways. This is looking like a 2 base all in. crazy. So there's one way or the other you can go, right? You can be hyper greedy, but as we can see, PAPI's going for a 2-base all-in, and Elazer doesn't know. He can't scout. That's why we have a Void Ray. The Void Ray shuts down Overlords, and Elazer doesn't know. He imagines that this base has been taken, but he doesn't know for certain. And Elazer, he's none the wiser. He's droning, he's saturating, he's being as greedy as possible. He's taking all of his gases, fast lair, Roach Warren, +1 range. Elazer has made very minimal fighting units here, and this 2-base all-in is designed to catch a player that has been too greedy. So I like the idea. We'll see how he does in the execution. Mothership's on the way, Immortal production, Prism's coming out as well. Now, has Elazer been too greedy? Is he going to be caught with his pants down? Or, because he's done droning, is he going to have a large enough army to defend? He's on 70 drones. 70 workers, that's crazy. Already on 70 workers here, working on a 4th base for Larva. Hydra Den is on the way, so he's working on a Roach Hydra as a composition. Infestation Mid as well. And here comes the all-in. So this mothership is going to be recalling the army across the map, and he could even try to recall into the natural, maybe into the pocket base. There are a lot of queens. Elazer, he wants access to the gold, by the way. And here comes the recall. We do catch the entire army. We recall right on top of the army. Pop off the cloak, pop off the detection, but there is a spore in position. And the mothership is being focused down. Stalkers are doing what they can, and it looks like PAPI, he is breaking through. He's breaking through the roaches. He forces back the mineral line, forces back the queens. The tech is looking a little bit exposed. Hydras are on the way, roaches as well. PAPI, can he break through? Up! The queens, they cannot transfuse. They're out of energy. The mothership, no, the mothership does go down. Minus 300, minus 300. But this is an insane ground army we're pushing on in. Infestation is going to go down. The boys, they have to be pulled. So far, good kiting. The boys are coming from behind. The Vials, they do not take down the Prism. We can juggle. We can try to maintain this army, but the Prism, it goes down. And Elazer will clean this up. GG gets called. The all-in does not work. And Elazer will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. I'll be honest, part of me wishes that when we recall into the natural, PAPI focuses the spore. I don't know if you saw, but there was a spore crawler in that natural base. So the cloak didn't really matter. Like we cloaked the army, but there was detection. There was a spore chilling there in the mineral line. I kind of wish that we just focus it down and we try to snowball out of control that way. The spore eventually died, but there was more of like an A move going on there from PAPI, and yeah, he just wasn't able to get the damage he was looking for. It was all or nothing there for PAPI, and a very unique build, very unique all-in. The first time I've seen it, and I like it. I appreciate it. Didn't work, but I can see the potential there. I can see it. Is that the Euthermal build? Does Euthermal play Protoss? Does he off race? Does he? I don't know. I don't watch his content. Maybe. I don't know if he has any a kind of crazy mothership rush all in for Radisson Station. I wouldn't put it past him. His cheese to GM. Ah, okay, there you go. Maybe. Oh, the fleet bacon. It is almost time for breakfast. It is almost time. I mean, it's 7 a.m. I'm starving. I was talking about getting ramen in between casts, but I didn't get to have it. So I had a shower, I got some water, I ate some Pringles. For the past 2 broadcasts, these Pringles, they've been sustaining me, Pat. But I will get some proper food after the cast. I look forward to it. I'm starving. Yeah, that was beautiful. Go PAPI, do it for Phoenix. I hate Pringles. Oh my god. Oh, Feral. Oh, it's Papa Feral. For the Berserker boys. Oh, what do you have against Pringles, PAPI? Oh my god. Fun fact, I think it's Yaku. I think he props up his webcam with Pringles cans. he has cans just stacked on top of each other for his webcam. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I appreciate it. Proper food equals Macca's. If only Macca's wasn't so expensive. Nah, ramen, but ramen. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of our Kione, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Berserker Esports. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh my god, going for the going for a 12 pool. We have the best Zerg player in all of Poland representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. Here we go. The 12 pool is upon us, and 12 pools aren't all in. Don't get things too crazy here. 12 pools, we should be working towards a flood of lings, and then expanding behind this. There are all-in variations if we went for a proxy hatch, but I was keeping my eye out, and Elazer hasn't gone for another hatchery. Of course, he's very fond of taking these gold bases, and I'm sure he will try to at some point. But for now, lings are on the way. Meanwhile, PAPI is going for a probe scout. He's going to be slipping into the main base, and he's going to be getting a full scout of the main. He's going to be confirming the timing of the spawning pool and the lack of gases, so he knows it is a 12 pool. And he should be walling off back at home. He needs to chrono out his first zealot and have a probe ready to wall off as well. As, oh my god, he fakes out the expansion, he cancels the natural base, and we are going all in. It's a 12 pool drone pool as Elazer sending everything across the map, and it is unscouted because the probe went down. PAPI, he doesn't know. He does have a probe ready to wall off, but he needs to wall now, otherwise it's going to be over. Here we go. The lings have arrived. Chipping away at the wall. The Zealot has to be very careful. The drones have been revealed. We need to wall off. We do. Gateway is thrown down, but that's a lot of surface area on the gateway. One Zealot is not enough. The Zealot is going to go down. We get a surround here on the gateway as well. Actually, we're just drilling through that pylon. Oh my god, the pylon taking so much damage, and we do bust through. The wall has been broken. One of the gateways is depowered. No, there's a chrono on the depowered gateway. The Adept, it's not coming. Help is not arriving. Not like this. The Adept finally is repowered on the way. Boys are being pulled. GG gets called, and Elazer will take game number 2. GG. With a 12 pool drone pool. Again, unscouted. Unfortunately, the probe, I mean, really smart play out of Elazer to fake out the expansion, to cancel it in the end, and to make sure that his drones weren't revealed until that probe was killed. They were held back a little bit further. So did catch PAPI off guard. Wasn't quite ready for it. GG. GG, well played. And now, Elazer, he is one game away, uno más, one game away from taking the entire series. PAPI needs to fight back here and now to attempt to force the ace match. Here we go. Oh, hold on. I need to translate what's being said. Ah, smudge. Oh my god. So PAPI said, how am I supposed to hold that? And then Elazer said, yeah, I thought that I was dead when I saw the wall. Elazer's like, I don't know what happened. I thought it wasn't gonna work. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Oh. And here we go. We're getting into game 2. Even if you don't have faith, it's like we can pull it off anyway. And again, Elazer, he's on match point. He needs one more, uno más, to become our champion. PAPI, can he fight back? Can he take a game? At least one. We're here to find out. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate. He needs your help. He needs your support. For a longer series, give us more StarCraft. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. It is PAPI. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have... let's go. We have the Polish Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of Poland, representing Team Liquid, going for a 14 hatch. It is Elazer. No extractor trick for the hatchery. I think we're getting one for the spawning pool. Yes, so it's going to be a 14 hatch into a 15 pool. Fun fact, this is a variation that's, oh, actually, we're going for the Overlord first. Wait, what? Interesting. Okay, we're going to be delaying the spawning pool in favor of the Overlord instead. But this is a variation that a lot of the Koreans were doing. When Eric popularized the 15-15, and when all the Europeans started doing it, and the North Americans as well, a lot of the Koreans were actually experimenting with it, and some were trying out the 15-15, and there were others like Dark. I remember Shin as well. They were going for 14 hatch openers instead. Yeah, it was really interesting. I think it was just so that they didn't have to cancel as much, and they were able to preserve some of their units, preserve some more minerals, getting into a faster gas. But yeah, different variation here out of Elazer. And it's been a while since I've seen a 14 hatch like this. Just because in general the Koreans, they actually stopped going for 14 and 15 hatch altogether. They just go hatch first. And if they take the unnatural, natural, they just do it. It has fallen off. As we are getting into our openers here. Back at home, Gate Expand into the Cybercore, standard stuff out of PAPI. Likewise, Elazer getting into his gas. This is the other big difference here. With a traditional 15-15, your gases are very delayed. But with this build, we are getting into gases a little bit faster instead. So we can actually get into link speed. We can get in. Here we go. Does 12 pool worker pool hit before the second depot wall off in ZvP? I don't think it's a good thing to do in ZvP. The problem with doing it in ZvP is that you're making an initial Reaper first, and the SCV Scout should be seeing it ahead of time anyway. It's very difficult to hide it against the SCV Scout and the follow-up Reaper as well. I'm curious, would it work? Would it hit in time for a low racks? Sorry, a low ground 2-racks opener, like the Beyond opener? I don't think so. I think we wall off in time as well. You know what? Try it out. Go crazy on the ladder. Just do it. Anyway, we're going all in. That's a fast layer. We're going for an insanely fast layer. One additional gas geyser is being taken. If we had a third gas geyser, this would be 2 base Hydra. Without the third gas geyser go, though, is this going to be a Link Queen Nidus all in? Are we going for Nidus from here? As back at home, we have a Twilight Council opener into Adepts. Oh my god. It is not a Link Queen Nidus all in. It's 2 base Swarm Host. Elazer. Aye. He's an animal, Pop. He's an animal. We have an infestation bit on the way. The full wall up as well. Adepts have arrived, but the wall does stand strong. Now, we don't have the most DPS to work so we don't have the most amount of DPS to actually deal with these Adepts. So this wall is going to go down. We have a secondary wall behind this. Lings are on the way. Glaives are in production as well. Elazer's in some trouble. I am concerned. Roach Horn's still in production, and he has to make roaches if he wants to hold. Or is he going to be greedy and make Swarm Hosts? No shot. What do we do? We're banking up these. There we go. We're banking up the larva. We're going straight for Swarm Hosts. Crazy. Okay, how does this work? Can PAPI punish this? Because he's going Glaive Adepts. The wall is technically open. It's going to be Swarm Host Nidus. we didn't make any roaches. We have 2 roaches on the way. And there we go. We fully wall off. Elazer correctly identifying that it is glaives. Does spot the army. Swarm hosts are soon to be revealed. I don't think they've been seen yet, actually. Here we go. Here comes a Locust Wave. And Glaive Adepts, just like how they deal with Lings, I think they can deal with these Locust Waves as well. The Juggling! Let's go! Keeping the Adepts alive, shading on past the Queens towards the Mineral Line. And this may just be too much. Very minimal roaches. We commit to the shade. There are a handful of Lings in position. And can we deal with this? The roach is putting in a lot of work. How many roaches do we have? 10 of them. As we bust into the natural base as well. The Locusts, the Swarm hosts, they do nothing. They don't help. Drones are going down. 18, 20 workers. Elazer, he was maybe having too much fun. He was trying to clown on PAPI, but nah, not like this. Not like this, PAPI. As 24 workers are falling. We have another wave of Locusts coming in as well. And they do have quite a lot of DPS. They're going to be able to shave off a couple of these depths, so we just commit to the shade. DTs are coming in as a follow-up. There is no detection. We're going to try and commit to the Nidus across the map. Oh, God. Here we go. The Nidus is on the way. Roach Warren under threat as well. And Elazer, he's down to 10 workers. He's down to 10 drones. I appreciate the Swarm hosts. Can they do enough to come back in this game? We can kill some probes. Definitely kill some workers. But GG is going to get called. It's just too much. And PAPI, he will fight back. He will take game number 3. GG. As he should. 2-base Swarm host is not really a thing in this matchup. So Elazer, he was trying to flex a little bit on his opponent, having a little bit too much fun. But man, you gotta respect PAPI. You gotta respect him. He's gonna drop a map. And to be fair, Elazer, he can afford to have a little bit of fun. He has a little bit of breathing room in this series. It's a best of 5, of course. But he has to be careful. Does have to be careful here. Oh. As we are gonna be able to fight back. And now suddenly my eyes are on Elazer. If he's having fun tonight, what else are we gonna do? We've already had a 12 full drone pool. We've had 2-base Swarm host. What's next? What's next? 2-base Spire? Proxy Hatch? Proxy Hatch all in, that could work. That's actually a build that works at this level. True. Could Proxy Hatch. What else do we got? 13-12. we can try to 13-12. True. We saw Snogstar do that earlier today. Or do we settle down and do we get a much more standard macro game? We'll see. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have the Blue Protoss player from the land of Poland representing Berserker Esports. It is PAPI. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player representing Team Liquid. Up in this series, he needs one more, or no mas, to win it all. It is Elazer. When learning a new opener, does it help to do customs with a slower game speed? I would definitely advocate customs. I think most people do advocate customs. If you're trying to learn a new build, then doing it even against like no AI, just in a custom game, just to get the build down, and then slowly incorporate AI, that is preferable. I don't think it's good to do it with slow game speed, just because it may just give you bad habits as well. Like, I think it can be maybe too jarring if you go into a higher game speed. But maybe it comes down to preference. I don't know. I don't think many people play on low game speed, so I'm actually not too sure how beneficial that would be. But if you try it and if it helps you, then maybe it's worth it. Maybe it is worth it. Especially if like you're really struggling to learn a new build and to get it down. Customs in general, though, they're good. They're good, Japan. They're good. What is salt encoding? As so far, hatch gas full, standard opener so far out of Elazer. Have our standard opener here. No crazy 14 hatch into 15 gas into none of that. Just getting into a standard game for now. And PAPI is going to be wary. I'm sure he's on notice. And make sure that he's able to keep up here with what Elazer is up to. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Yeah. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. There's other tools out there that help, right? There's like spawning tool, right? Spawning tool puts like an overlay of the build over you. I remember that, I don't know if it's a thing anymore, but people used to record, maybe it's a part of spawning tool as well. People used to record builds on YouTube, and they would like, basically the way it works is that you start the video at the same time, and then they like tell you what to do because it's lined up with the game as well. So like, build an overlord, or throw down a depot, or throw down a pylon, right? Like they just like vocalize it to you as a video, like while you're playing. I don't know if people still do that, but that used to be a thing. There's a lot out there. Ooh, as we do have our Stargate opener. Stargate into a Void Ray first. Okay, now with this Void Ray, we can shut down overlords. We can keep Elazer in the dark as to what PAPI is up to. Salt is an output from spawning tool. Ah, there you go. Yeah, spawning tool is a big thing. I know some people don't like spawning tool just because it's like visually cluttering. But if it's something that's that you enjoy, that you can work with, then go for it. Go for it. As the first Void Ray is going to be moving out. Oh, you're trying to learn 14-14 into two-way search. Ah, I see. Fair enough. As the Void Ray does move out, it's going to be able to shut down the first Overlord as well. Again, this is something that a lot of the Koreans do. Basically, you send your first Void Ray across the map to get 1, maybe even 2 Overlord kills, and then you come back for this final Overlord back at home. Or we could even get 3, actually. Oh my god. We're getting a lot done. Do we have enough for a transfuse? We do not, and it looks like we're going to get a 3rd Overlord. Soon to be a 4th with this one here on the right-hand side. At the same time, the Oracle comes in from the right-hand side, gets 3 more drones. A really good amount of damage is done. And behind this, we have our tech of choice. We have a Robo, Twilight Council, and Forge on the way. Pretty standard follow-up here from PAPI. Nothing really to write home about, as the 3rd base is getting up and running, and Adepts are in position. Meanwhile, this Void Ray is coming back home to hunt down that last Overlord, and he will find it. And that is 4 Overlords for 1 Void Ray. An amazing amount of damage, more than really should have happened. So for those wondering, because I kind of glossed over it, basically, if you go for a Void Ray opener, it's advised to actually send the Void Ray across the map first and not kill the Scouting Overlord, whether the Overlord is here or maybe at this pillar. You leave that Overlord alone. Like, you know it's there, but you leave it alone, and you come back for it, because you know that there's no chance that Overlord can actually survive and get back home. So you get across the map just so you can secure damage, and because you're revealing your Void Ray across the map, then it's a late reaction and they're exposed. The Zerg player doesn't have time to actually save those Overlords. So yeah, I mean, look at the look at the trades here, the efficiency. Elazer coming in for a counterattack, but we do have Zealots in position. They do head towards the natural. They find a probe. They do find a worker. And Elazer does back off. Ooh, if we were aware of this 4th, we could even try and cancel it. Elazer actually double expanding, getting a 4th and a 5th as well. Being quite greedy. Meanwhile, ooh, no shield battery. The Lings, they do get into the mineral line. 5 more probes go down. No stack defense here at the 3rd base. Now we're working on it. Building up a wall. Building up those shield batteries. Behind this, it is not going to be +1 in Blink. It's going to be +1 in Charge instead. It's going to be a Charged Out Archon composition with that Templar Archives. Not just Charged Out Archon, but we have been building up these Immortals from the beginning. We're just building up a death ball of an army. And the Immortals, they have been spotted by Elazer. For the time being, he's just being very greedy. You know, he took this center base as his fourth, so Rich Vesting Gas Geyser. Droning up to almost 70 at this point. There we go, 70 drones. If he wanted to, he could even drone up to 80 as well. But that is a risky thing to do, especially because PAPI is soon going to move out. Storm, halfway done. Fourth base being taken. PAPI is just still building up his forces back at home. Going for a Ling counterattack, but doesn't quite find too much damage here. It's a lot of Lings for not much here at home. I'm still surprised that we didn't throw down a shield battery. Like, very greedy play here out of PAPI. To delay for so long, and here we go, Elazer. He has droned up to 70, and he is not droning up any further. Cutting workers at 70, now he's making nothing but Lings, Roaches, soon to be Ravagers. There is no Bailey Nest, so just Ling Roach. And we're going for one big push. Elazer, he's about to max out. And this is going to be a tight hold. Not impossible. A lot of this is going to come down to the storms. Oh, the army has been spotted. Again, storms are going to be necessary here for these Lings. No Archons. There we go. A couple of Archons now on the way. They're in production. As Elazer, he's rotating over towards the left-hand side where we do have some stasis traps. No shield battery, no overcharge. Uh-oh. There are shield batteries on the right-hand side, not on the left, so he's going to be a little bit more vulnerable if the attack does, or if the fight does occur here. I wonder if Elazer does notice. Yeah, there we go. Shield batteries now on the way, but they're a little bit late. Behind this, Spire is thrown down. Elazer, he's not committing, not yet, as he rotates around, and he does find a couple of free units. He gets the Archon. Big pick up. Archon goes down. At the same time, Elazer tried to dive in, but he was zoned away. And PAPI is doing well holding. Like, he's got a comparable economy, up to 76 workers. But unfortunately, he doesn't know that a Spire is on the way. He's not aware of the mutas. And very little shoots up. He doesn't have Blink for Blink Stalkers, doesn't have Phoenixes, has one Void Ray. We dive on top of the Immortal. Overcharge is not good enough. The Immortal goes down. And mutas could spell the end for PAPI, but he comes in with a Zealot counterattack. Oh my god. He gets into the main. He does scout the Spire. He knows. And he's not slowing down. Hopefully he clicked on it. Hopefully he's aware of what he saw. Because we need either more Archons, Phoenix production, Blink for the Stalkers. There we go. Blink is now on the way, but this is a late upgrade. And the mutas, they're coming out. And if they wanted to, they could dive on top of the High Templar. The 16 mutas are on the way. It feels like PAPI is pretty all in. Storms aren't looking too bad. Oh my god. Big storms here on the mutas, on the roaches as well. We need another storm, and I don't think we have one, not yet. And this base is going to be going down. Now, Elazer, he has a bank. He can just slow this down. He can lose a base. He can lose two bases. As long as he preserves his drones, he should be okay. As Blink is getting halfway done at this point. More Archons are on the way as well. We have two storms available. And the mutas are going for a big counterattack. They're going to be crippling the economy of PAPI, but PAPI, I don't think he cares. He's going to be saving his workers, and he's pushing in. He doesn't want to waste his storms. He's going to take down another base. Meanwhile, Elazer goes straight for the main. A couple of Archons do go down. Elazer, he's in a bit of trouble, but again, slow and steady, wins the race. We have 18 more roaches in production, and PAPI, he's not reinforcing. He doesn't really have much of an economy behind this. Good storm! We're warping in Stalkers to reinforce. Immortals are going ham on the roaches, and we're actually trading well. A lot of roaches are going down. Good juggling here with the Warp Prism. Oh my god, barely saving those Immortals. Meanwhile, back at home, the mutas are going ham. They're killing everything back at home, but at the same time, PAPI, he's breaking the natural. He's pushing in. There's one Ravager left. And is he pulling this off? Elazer, he has mutas. He's catching an immortal. Rough loss there. But it looks like PAPI may just have too much. Okay, he's broken the natural base. Mutas, they're coming back. Do we have enough anti-air? Oh! We have our Stalkers. No Storm. We have Archons. And PAPI, it looks like he has done it in a straight-up game as well. GG gets called, and PAPI takes game number 4. We have a series. We have an ace match. GG. I was a little bit concerned that we wouldn't be able to get Blink Stalkers out in time, but you saw that Blink was able to finish. We were able to warp in a wave of Stalkers towards the end as well. We had enough anti-air, which meant the mutas coming back home didn't really mean much. They could not deal with the main army. And we need to give praise as well to PAPI because he has really good immortal control. Not just immortal control, prism control. Keeping those immortals alive, just powering through all those roaches. Didn't matter that Elazer was maxed out. Didn't matter that he had a bank as well, just because he was up against such an efficient army. Such a death ball of an army. GG. The mutas, they were a good move. I mean, they killed, what, 32 probes? They killed a lot of workers. They killed a lot of workers across the map. But the main army, that was the problem. And here we go. It all comes down to game 5. It all comes down to hard lead. Here we go. PAPI isn't special. No, special is Juanito. Special is Juanito. Some people call him PAPI as well. I mean, it's like a common term. He's from Mexico. He's from Mexico. So PAPI is like bro or like young friend. You can use it however you want. It's like mate in Aussie. Hyung in Korean, la in Singaporean. And here we go. We're getting into the ace match and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of hard lead. We have the Polish Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. It is PAPI. Forcing the ace match, forcing game 5, and spawning in the top left hand corner. We have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of Poland. Representing Team Liquid, it is Elazer. Here we go. Hi, PAPI. Same thing. Base habit. Were you also calling her PAPI? That would be the same thing. Shaking my head. As we are going for a probe scout across the map. Going to be confirming, of course, the hatch first. This time, hatch gas pool out of Elazer. Vamonos, vamonos. No, I did not. You're doing it wrong, then. What are you doing? It's okay. I can show you. Come to Australia. As for now, it is going to be a gate expand. Gate expand into a cybercore. Standard opener here from PAPI. Standard opener. Across the map, Elazer likewise going for a hatch gas full. And as much fun as Elazer's been having, and he has been having some fun, he's been going for 12 pools and, you know, 2 base muta, not quite 2 base muta, 2 base swarm host as well. I expect things to be calming down here in the ace match. I expect a much more standard straight up game out of Elazer. There is a lot of power to be had here on hard lead as well. Hard lead, it is a very aggressive map. The rush distance by ground is quite short. Oh. It is quite short, and yeah, as a result, there are a lot of all-ins you can go for. It is very commonplace, very common for Zerg players to drone up to 66 workers, 66, and just go for a big roach all-in. You pull the boy, no, you don't pull the boys. You're not a Terran player, but you do pull the queens. They waddle across the map, go for a German taxi, if you will. There's a lot of different variations. Elazer, though, is taking the linear third base. Now, upon taking the linear third, that means that it's going to take a little bit longer to spread creep across the map. If we had taken the triangular third, then that would be a sign that maybe we did want to go all in and focus down these rocks. Taking the linear third is a lot more passive, a lot more defensive. So, a sign that Elazer wants to get into a normal standard game. Doesn't mean he will. It's just, you know, a sign in that direction. So now our depths are going to be moving out. Additional links are on the way. We're getting into our tech of choice. It's going to be a Stargate. This time it's not a Void Ray first. It's going to be an Oracle instead. Looking for some economic damage. PAPI's just going to be getting into the rest of this build. Going to be going Oracle first into a second Oracle. Still no Void Ray, so this is looking pretty standard. Behind this, PAPI should be taking a third base. Should be taking up towards the Twilight Council and a Forge behind this. Now, just because he went Chargeal Archon in game number 4 doesn't mean he's going to do it here. He could go into Blink first instead. There are different kind of tech paths that you can go down as a Protoss player. So we'll see what he goes for. Personally, on a map like Hardlead, I kind of do want him to go Chargeal Archon again. Like, if he's able to stabilize on 4 bases, if he's able to build up a death ball of an army again, then he can push out. He can push out and it can look terrifying. And so far, this is looking very similar to the last game. We have a Robo follow-up, and this will lead into a Twilight Council and Forge a little bit later on in a couple of moments. That is how we saw the opener of PAPI in Game 4. So we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be the case. There it is. There's a Forge. And a delayed Twilight Council here from our Protoss player. But we should see it soon. Meanwhile, back at home, Elazer, he's just droning. He's just been droning, taking gases, working on a Roach Warren. Oracles, they dive into the natural. They're going to get a couple of drones. By a couple, I mean one. Oof. A little bit of mistargeting. A lot of these drones got low, but they weren't quite focused down. So only one drone fell. Meanwhile, there's +1 on the way. There's that Twilight Council. Now, this isn't the cleanest execution. Typically, we want to see the Forge and the Twilight Council at the same time so we can hit a timing with +1 and charge, and it can all be lined up. But it may just be a little bit shaky just because we don't really care about the timing. We may be looking to just saturate on 3 bases and slowly get a 4th. Immortal production has commenced. And really my eyes are now on Elazer to see how he approaches this instead. If you remember last game, he droned up to 70 and then he maxed out. And he wasn't quite able to find a way to deal damage. He wasn't able to push into the 4 bases of PAPI. Now, this 4-base setup is a little bit more exposed. It's a little bit further apart. This low ground base can be difficult to defend, especially if these rocks get knocked down. So we'll see if he takes this triangular third as his 4th or takes the center base. Behind this, Baneliness is thrown down, so it's going to be Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Last game, it was just purely Ling Roach. No Banelings. And PAPI, he's going to be taking the role of the defender. Again, he's just continuing to take up Templar Archives, now finishing up for Archons. A massive wall of gateways as well, just to make sure we're safe from any kind of Baneling counterattacks and run-bys. Storm is on the way. This is just like how PAPI played out the previous game. Exact same. More or less. Meanwhile, Elazer, instead of cutting workers at 70, he's droning up to 80. 82 drones already here, and that means we are ready to max out. This also means that we have additional gas income as opposed to previously, so we can afford Ling Bane Roach Ravager, which is a little bit more gas intensive. Also, my apologies, we did have Banelings last game. We were going for run-bys, right? Yeah. Here we go. No, sorry, I was thinking of a different game. I was thinking of something else. There we go. Ravagers, Banelings in production. Rocks are being knocked down. We spoke about this. Once these rocks go down, like, this area is just so wide open. Stasis traps have been thrown down, but they get triggered prematurely. Storm has finished. Ay, ay, ay. And this is going to be a tough hold here for PAPI. At least he does have 4 storms available. Looking at the unit type, yep, 4 High Templar, each with 1 storm. But the Banelings are coming in from behind. try to come in from behind. The fourth base is completely surrounded, and you can see PAPI just being zoned away from his own base. Good storms, but we're going to be forcing a cancel at that Nexus. Oh, and that's every High Templar going down. Banelings, they just roll on in. No more storms are available, and now Elazer can just dive on the army. It's just becoming too much. Elazer, he was left to his own devices. He was able to drone up to 80 plus, and now he can just keep making nothing but Ling Roach Ravager. Now, PAPI did save most of his Immortals and most of his Archons. He only lost one of each, which is good, but PAPI is stuck on 3 bases. And without a 4th, he can't max out. Not like last game. He needs a 4th base, he needs a better economy to be able to afford that. And again, Hard Lead is just a really map to try to pull that off on. Like, the creep is already at the 4th. We're denying the 4th with creep at this point. Again, a very short rush distance by ground. PAPI is just being choked out at this point. He needs to expand elsewhere. Elazer, he's checking for another base. Here at the linear 4th or the center base location. And the longer this goes on, we're going to be spreading creep on every one of these bases as well. You can see Elazer diving in, expecting a base to be taken, and there's just nothing there. And PAPI's all in. It's all or nothing here for the Protoss. Oh, but he's pushing into a concave. Oh my god. The Banelings, they roll on 4, they dive on top of the High Templar, and they will get every single one of them. No more storms are available. The Immortals are exposed, they have nothing to protect them as well. Elazer is being forced back, but there's only 3 Immortals left. Over time, PAPI, he's just losing his army. Now he takes a 4th base, but it's a very late 4. It may just be too late. That's Elazer. He's remaxing on more Lingbane Roach Ravager. PAPI gonna try and pull off a miracle defense. Okay, so if the stasis traps go off, if we get some amazing stasis traps, an amazing storm, then maybe we can hold on to 3 bases. Maybe the 4th, I'm not so sure. As Elazer, he's remaxing, pushing in once again. The Banelings, they crash into the Zealots. The Zealots go down instantly. And now we can get on top of the high-tech units, on top of the Immortals, the Archons as well. The juggling is good. Don't get me wrong, but there's only so much that we can juggle. As the same 3 Immortals do survive, but we lose all the Archons. PAPI, he's just trying to survive. He just wants a 4th base. He needs a 4th base. Trying to push out, but we get a surround. Once again, though, we can save whatever we can. 1 Immortal goes down. No storms are left. And Elazer, he's snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and Elazer will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's House Open Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Elazer for winning his very first House Open Cup. Again, the first and the second edition of this tournament were won by Spirit. Spirit did win both of those, and I would have favored Spirit to win this tournament as well, but Spirit did not show up. He did not show up for the 3rd edition, which meant that it was up in the air for a new champion, and Elazer is that new champion. GG. Congratulations. Congratulations. Again, Elazer, he is the best Zerg player in Poland, and expected for him to eventually win one of these. But a special shout out to PAPI. PAPI. He went further than any really thought he would, or that he could. He took down Rodzin, took down Art. The seeding did help him. The seeding meant that Geralt and Elazer would face off in the semis, not in the finals. And I would have favored Geralt again against PAPI if they had faced off. But alas, that didn't come to pass. Geralt and Elazer faced off in the semis, and PAPI was able to really flex his PvP, taking down Rodzin and Art. Very impressive stuff, which meant that, hey, even if Geralt faced off against PAPI, there's no guarantee that Geralt could have stopped him. No guarantee. So, yeah, really impressive run here by PAPI, even forcing the ace match out of Elazer. Part of it is because Elazer was having some fun going 2-base Swarm Host, which is... it's nonsense. But regardless, went all the way to the ace match, and GG, well played. Good to see PAPI popping off, especially because typically he's in the middle of the pack. When people think of the best Protoss players in Poland, they think of Geralt, they think of Cristiano, they think of Art, they think of Mana. I feel like those four are typically thought of before PAPI. So for PAPI to make it into the finals like this, it's impressive. Impressive stuff. Really impressive stuff. Hope he is proud of himself. Hope Papa Farrell over in Berserker Esports are proud of him as well. They give him a lot of love, give him a lot of praise, because yeah, really impressive run here. Even giving Elazer a run for his money as well. I know that there are a lot of people that are tuning in for the first time as well, and if you haven't heard of this tournament before, this is a bi-weekly tournament every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks we do host this event. It's held over on Indy's channel in Polish, and we cast it in English here on the CranKy Ducklings. And it is a Polish-only tournament. It is region-locked to the land of Poland, so that's why you get players like Elazer, like PAPI, Geralt, Cristiano, Spirit, Mana, for example. They all duke it out every 2 weeks. And if you are unfamiliar with what House is, it is the main sponsor of this tournament, and it is a gaming bar in Poland. It is a gaming bar, and they've held offline StarCraft events at that location before, and they're going to do it again. They're going to be doing it again in a couple of months. So it's really cool to see that, again, the Polish team, they're coming together again. They're hosting their own offline events. They're hosting their own online events, and they're coming together and, you know, supporting themselves. And we're going to do the best we can to broadcast that as well. We're going to do the best we can to broadcast that. I don't think we have... I think we do have confirmed dates for the offline event, but I think they're still just figuring out who gets invited. A lot of it is going to be based off of these weekly tournaments to see who does and doesn't get invited to the event. And I think qualifiers were held a couple of weeks ago as well. I believe it is called the House Circuit. Howls even, not House. There's no U. There's no U. But yeah. So if you're interested, you can support them. You can follow them. If you are local to Poland, then look into it. Check it out. So you can be there at an offline event. Like, sure, there's DreamHack Atlanta on the way for North America, for the North Americans to get together and to, you know, be able to converge and support and, yeah, have a bit of a StarCraft celebration. Likewise, you can do the same in Poland. Let's go. I believe it's, yeah, towards the end of the year or beginning of next year. So do look forward to that. Back to work. Have a good rest of the stream. Like, oh, we're done. We're done. But yeah, with that, we are going to be closing out the stream here for the day. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Hope everyone had a great time as well. This was our second broadcast of the day, and it is 7:49 a.m. Almost 7:50 a.m. here in Australia. It's time to sleep. I'm gonna be quickly getting some food, and then I'm gonna probably get some work done and then pass out later. Let's go. I am on that EU sleep schedule because we have been busy casting the B stream for ESL Masters, and I believe ESL Masters comes back tonight. I believe it does come back tonight. Yeah, 15 hours from now, ESL Masters Winter. Oh boy. Oh boy. So we're going to be live as well tonight. If you are curious about our next broadcast, it is going to be WTL. I believe World Team League is in 15 hours time. It's going to be overlapping with ESL Masters, which is a bit of a shame. They're going to be going at the same time. Our priority and our focus is going to be on World Team League. After we wrap up World Team League, we may co-stream ESL Masters, the NA region. We're probably going to be co-streaming over on this channel. Again, at around this time, covering the NA region as best we can. And yeah, the weekend is soon to be upon us. WTL every single day. Let's go. World Team League. So yeah, if you're interested, we're going to be live in 15 hours. So mark your calendars, mark your alarm clocks. And yeah, if you want to support us elsewhere, !socials. Socials in the chat as well. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all the social medias. We have a YouTube channel, which we are also streaming on. We are co-streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube, bienvenidos, welcome. We're still new to streaming on YouTube, but all of our VODs are kept there as well. So it's a little bit easier. It's a lot easier to like transfer VODs and uploaded them on YouTube now that we're streaming there as well. So yeah, it's a little bit more convenient. Speaking of, that's what I'm going to be doing next. Going to be working on some VODs for a couple of hours before going to bed. Let's go. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thanks so much for the support. You can also support us on Patreon if you wish. Patreon is available. Our Patreon is set up to fund our tournaments. We do host our own events here on the CranKy Ducklings that are also region locked to Oceania, Southeast Asia, North America, Latin America, the rest of Asia as well. So we do have a lot of region locked events and some open events as well that we do fund via Patreon. We still pay it out through our own pockets, but Patreon does help, does alleviate some of those costs, and our goal is to grow our Patreon to be able to fully fund our events and also grow our events, you know, bigger prize pools, bigger payouts, more consistent tournaments. So if you're interested, Patreon is the place to support us. And also, as we head off for the night, a bit of a premature announcement, but we're going to make a tweet soon. We are finally, after, how many years have we been casting? How many years? Well, we're coming up on 6 years. Coming up on 6 years of casting on this channel. We are finally partnered. Took a long time. A lot of hard work, a lot of hours. I've checked the numbers. We cast more than Steadfast. We cast more than Wardy. We're live every single day, multiple times a day. And we are finally partnered on Twitch, which means we can make a little bit more money. We now have 50% of subs instead of 25%, which is a pretty big jump. Still not amazing, but it's better than nothing. So as of today, as of a couple of hours ago, we finally got partner, which is amazing. And yeah, it's gonna help. It's gonna help, especially when it comes to our own tournaments. It's gonna help a lot when it comes to how we can afford our own tournaments and all that stuff. And yeah, we've been slowly growing over the past 6 years, and we'll keep growing from there. Thank you. Does that mean you can no longer stream YouTube on parallel? No, we can. Thankfully, it's not exclusive. It was announced recently that we are allowed to restream unless we have like a specific contract. But we're not big enough for that. We're not. That's not happening. We're not getting a contract like a big like contract with Twitch. So we can stream on YouTube. We can actually restream on like Facebook if we wanted to. And we do have a lot of activity on Facebook, but we'll stick to 2 platforms for now. And with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the support for many, many years. We've been having a bit of a boost recently, which is how we were able to get partnership. We've been getting a little bit more traction. And again, we're live in 15 hours with World Team League. See you then. See you soon. Until then, give some love and support to another StarCraft streamer. We're going to be giving someone else a raid. Give them some love. Give them some support. We'll see you later. Hasta luego. Bye.